Highways, the SBI Mutual Fund and Sera.
Good evening, India. Thanks for joining us on the Newshour. My name is Pranesh Kumar Roy. Telangana votes in 3 days, and appeasement and inducements have been the two major themes in the run-up to the polls, while the BRS has promised a special IT park in Hyderabad Old City for the Muslims. Yes, you heard that right. This IT park, it seems, should only be for Muslims or for the minority community, announced by the Chief Minister himself. The Congress released its minority declaration a few days ago, in which the party has promised to increase the minority welfare budget to 4,000 crore if it comes into power. The Prime Minister today tore into both BRS and the Congress, accusing them of indulging in naked appeasement politics to fetch a few votes. The Prime Minister said that both the parties in the state have taken appeasement to new heights. But before we make you listen to what the Prime Minister said, let's first remind you of the promise made by Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao.
हमसे पहले 10 साल कांग्रेस का हुकूमत था। उनके 10 साल के दौर में उन्होंने माइनॉरिटी डेवलपमेंट के लिए खर्च किया सिर्फ 2000 करोड़ रुपया। हमारे 10 साल के हुकूमत में हमने माइनॉरिटी डेवलपमेंट के लिए खर्च किया 12,000 करोड़ रुपया। अब फर्क आप समझ सकते हैं, किसको मुसलमानों से प्यार है, कौन पार्टी आपको वोट बैंक बना के आपका वोट लूट लिया। जब तक केसीआर जिंदा रहेगा तब तक तेलंगाना सेक्युलर रियासत ही बने रहेगा। हम लोग एक सेक्युलर रियासत है और सेक्युलर रियासत ही रहेंगे, ये हमारा उसूल है, हमारा पार्टी का उसूल है। हम हिंदू और मुसलमानों को दो आंख समझते हैं, हर किसी को हमारे साथ लेके चलते हैं। जो माइनॉरिटी बच्चों के लिए जो बनाने जा रहे हैं वो बिल्कुल IT पार्क पहाड़ी शरीफ के पास ही सबिता रेड्डी जी यहाँ खुलवा रहे। BRS सरकार एक ईमानदार सरकार है, हम रिश्वतखोर नहीं है, लोगों को हम लूटना नहीं चाहते।
Now mark these words because they will feature in the debate. KCR जिंदा है, secular रियासत, Hindu Muslim दो आंख. Just remember these words, viewers. Now you heard the Chief Minister making that announcement. Listen to what the Prime Minister said about this promise and how the Congress is also indulging in appeasement.
BRS तो टेक्नोलॉजी तक में तुष्टीकरण ले आई है। क्या अब भारत में धर्म के आधार पर भी IT पार्क बनेगा क्या? ये खेल चलता रहेगा क्या? क्या ये भारत के संविधान का सम्मान है क्या? क्या ये बाबा साहब आंबेडकर की भावनाओं का आदर है क्या? BRS की कार के 4 पहिए और एक स्टीयरिंग कांग्रेस के पंजे से बिल्कुल अलग नहीं है। ये दोनों ही दल धर्म के आधार पर अपीजमेंट करते हैं, तुष्टीकरण करते हैं। इन दोनों ही पार्टियों ने करप्शन को बढ़ाया, इन दोनों ही पार्टियों ने परिवारवाद को बढ़ाया। ये दोनों पार्टियां जहां रही वहां कानून व्यवस्था चौपट हो गई। इन दोनों पार्टियों ने दलितों और BC समाज को धोखा दिया।
This was the bit about appeasement. Let's talk about inducement. The Election Commission today put a halt on disbursement of funds to farmers under the much talked about Rythu Bandhu scheme. This came after State Finance Minister Harish Rao violated the model code of conduct, the poll code, by making an announcement about handing over money to the beneficiaries. This is what Harish Rao, the minister, had said.
ఇవాళ ఆదివారం, రేపేమో సోమవారం. కానీ రేపు సోమవారం ఏముందంటే కార్తీక పౌర్ణమి. రేపు కూడా సెలవే ఉన్నది, కార్తీక పౌర్ణమి. ఇవాళ ఆదివారం, రేపు కార్తీక పౌర్ణమి. ఎల్లుండి మంగళవారం పొద్దున్నే మీరు ఛాయ్ తాగుతారో లేదో మీ ఫోన్లు టింగ్ 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 మోగుతాయి. ఇక రైతు బంధు పైసలు పడుతూనే ఉంటాయి, మీ ఫోన్లన్నీ టింగు టింగున మోగుతాయి. తయారుండరు, ఇక తయారుండండి. కాంగ్రెస్ వానికి ఇప్పుడు గుండెల జారిపోతున్నాయి ఒక్కొక్కరికి. ఇక అబ్బో రైతు బంధు పడేయండి, నిన్న ఇవాళ పింఛన్లు తెచ్చుకున్నారు, ఏళ్ళుండి రైతు బంధు పడుతుంది. ఇక మర్చిపోతారా మా పెద్ద కొడుకు కేసీఆర్ అంటారు.
This was Harish Rao, the finance minister of Telangana, making that promise. Remember, the poll panel had no objections with this Rythu Bandhu scheme till about 2 days ago. Only after Harish Rao said what he said has the EC cracked down on this scheme, specifically on the payment bit, which is why we are asking the legitimate question: can appeasement and inducement trump or undermine Sabka Saath? Let's open this up. Shazia Ilmi, the national spokesperson of the BJP. Dr. Anand Ranganathan needs no introduction. Mahesh Bigala, leader of the BRS. Sai Shekhar Angara, senior journalist. Sanjay Jha, author. Atikur Rahman completes the panel, political analyst. Dr. Ranganathan, now this is a multi-faith panel. Now remember, if I had a all-Muslim panel, it would be more secular than what it is right now. KCR says, मैं जिंदा हूं, Hindu Muslims are like two eyes, yet he's put a black tape on one eye.
Good evening, Pranesh, and good evening to my fellow panelists. I'm afraid this is not welfare, this is warfare. There is no other way to describe this. And this is not that I want to, be patronizing and inform the Honorable Chief Minister as to what the textbook definition of secularism is. The definition of secularism is a complete separation between religion and state. The state cannot get into the domain of religion and vice versa. So what kind of secularism is the Honorable Chief Minister promising as long as he is alive, when he is vowing to construct a Muslim-only IT park? It's unbelievable. When there are policies that are suited only for Muslims, how can it be secular? Number one. Number two, is that not discriminatory? Will Hindus be allowed to be given a job in that Muslim youth only IT park? Are there Hindus only IT parks? Are there Christians? Where will this end? Number two, as far as other inducements are, quote unquote inducements are concerned, for example, the equivalent of Kisan Samman Nidhi and so many other things that every political party does, Pranesh, we have to be very honest about this. And if we have to be honest about it, just give me a minute, maybe a little bit more than that, because I want to discuss this. This needs to get into the national discourse. What is freebie and what is welfareism? According to me, until and unless we don't define a distinct line between the two, it would be always blurred and politicians will always err on the side of freebies. According to me, for example, anything that is given to a segment of the society that is poor, for example, free health, free education, gas cylinders, tap water, electricity to an extent, it is important because ours is a poor country. Ours is a country with a GDP per capita of 2,000 USDs. If we do not give all these support to our people, they will be wiped out in their tens of millions. So what distinguishes between a freebie and a welfare? I am for welfare state, except that I qualify it that socialism is possible only in a capitalist state. You cannot earn money through socialism to spend it on socialism. That is unsustainable. But now very quickly, 30 seconds, I want to define what freebie is. If you are giving cash or kind for the purposes of appeasement or against national interest, that is what, according to me, is a freebie. For example, repealing of the farm laws, giving fees to sugarcane farmers, not allowing what kind of crops need to be grown that are in national interest and will not ruin our environment as well as our economy. That is a freebie. Number two, for example, you're giving appeasement in the form of inducements just to a particular religious community, their religious quotas, their subsidies, Hajj subsidies, payment to Maulvis, all those things, that constitutes as freebies. So we have to draw a distinct line between what is welfare state, which is important in this country, and what is freebie, which is dangerous for this country. Last 10 seconds, the most dangerous freebie to have come about in the last 2 years, Pranav, is actually the revert to the old pension scheme, which was junked not only by the Congress when they brought in new pension scheme, but they won a state like Himachal by saying that we promised to junk the new pension scheme to bring in old pension scheme. So they themselves have induced in freebies.
Now, Mahesh Bigala, I will come to the freebie bit a little later. Well, let's talk about this Muslim-only IT park. Do you have a Muslim-only spokesperson in the party? Or a Muslim-only minister? a Muslim-only office or a floor in the secretariat? If Yogi Adityanath were to announce a Muslim-only college university, or if Himanta did the same, what would you call it?
Okay, let me answer to you. See, we have to think about the state of Telangana. You need to understand the state of Telangana first, because there is like in the state of Telangana, people of Hindu and Muslim, they live in harmony. And BJP doesn't have any agenda, but to divide the people in the name of religion and the caste. So as far as the Telangana is concerned, we were talking about, like in the other panel last time I was debating this morning, they were talking about just this IT parks. It's not about the IT parks. Whatever the KCR's government is doing is for both the areas, whether it's a majority or minority, whether it's a Muslim, Christian, or Hindus. If you look at the kind of schemes government has brought it up, like
no, I don't want to get into the 1 minute, Mr. Bigala. I've seen the schemes. No. Come to the point. No. 1 minute, Mr. Bigala. This is not about any other scheme. This is about this particular announcement announced by the Chief Minister. Muslim only IT park, matlab kya? Will you have Muslim only computers, Muslim only other things, only halal certified products, doors, windows, ceilings, glass? Muslim only ka kya matlab hai, sir?
No, I'm coming to the same point.
Mr. Bigala, answer this. This is a straight question to you.
It is a straight question. Before that, you need to understand the background of the IT in
Sir,
the state
I don't want to understand the background.
No, you need to.
If you're giving me the background, then you're justifying it.
Telangana state, you need to understand the affairs of the Telangana IT department. The Telangana we have a separate parks for the women. We have the separate park for the second tier city. We have the separate. Telangana wants to bring up everybody, not just one sector. We want to bring up everyone up. So it is, we have for the women.
Okay, so adjacent to this Muslim-only IT park, will you also build a Hindu-only IT park?
In the Telangana has, out of 3 lakhs,
10 seconds.
We have increased the jobs.
But I'm not interested in what you've increased, sir. Very, very well done. If you've increased it for all sections of society. Okay, Dr. Ranganathan wants to make a good point.
Let me ask you the same question.
I think to be fair to Mahesh ji,
part to the women? Is it unfair to give the separate? We have to
just listen to what Dr. Ranganathan, he has something for you. Mr. Bigala.
To be fair to Mr. Bagala, to be just a very simple query, because he's echoing what Honorable Chief Minister said. Hindus and Muslims are the two eyes, are my two eyes. I do not make any discrimination. So I want to ask a very simple question. In Telangana, the Hindu temples are under state control. Should the mosques also be under state control?
It is the center, up to the central government bring up the law, and it has to pass
up to the central government.
It is
Should it be?
Up to the central. It is up to the central government.
What do you think?
It is up to the central. What has been following? We are following the government is following the Constitution of India.
What do you think, sir? What do you think?
What I think? We are following the law of the land.
Do you have a view?
We are following the law of the land.
View?
Whatever the central government comes, we follow the law of the land. Whether it's my opinion or my chief minister's opinion, everybody has to follow the law of the land. If
but
the law
when you want to make Muslim-only IT park, you don't follow the central view.
Yeah, that's because one eye, the two eyes that the Chief Minister was talking about, one eye, the Hindu eye has cataract. And that needs intervention, which is why Hindu temples are run over by the state. While, Muslim religious places need no intervention. Now, Shazia Ilmi... No, 1 minute, Mr. Bigala, 1 minute, let's get in the BJP. Because you think that this is a needless controversy.
Who is running the mosque?
Okay.
Who is running the temples? In the rest of the remaining 27 states.
Sir, we all know.
27 states.
Are you ready to take a position, Mr. Bigala? Are you ready to take a position? Answer the question Anand Ranganathan asked you.
No, same I'm asking to the Ranganathan. What is the story of the remaining 27 states where BJP is ruled?
People know the story. I don't have the time, sir, Mr. Bigala. Frankly, sir, please. Okay, let's get on with it. Shazia Ilmi of the BJP now. Shazia Ilmi, the BRS spokesperson says that this is a welfare model. You heard the Chief Minister also. He says, jab tak KCR zinda hai, secular riyasat rahegi. His words, not mine.
Yeah, unless that he should replace the word secular with communal riyasat, because there is nothing more communal than this. And he talked about following the law of the land. Now, the law of the land is very clear on the subject. There cannot be any reservation or any discrimination on the basis of religion. And then he talked about the two communities living in harmony. If they're living in harmony, why would he want to create, as Anand mentioned, a state of warfare by having a separate and the othering of a Muslim community, by offering an IT park to them and not to the Hindu brothers or Sikhs or others in the area? And also, what have they been doing, and why are the socio-economic indices of this country and particularly of that region so poor when it comes to Muslims, despite the fact that they've been in power for 10 years, that they feel the need that they have to do something particularly for Muslims, that also at the anvil of elections. So that says a lot about this whole vulgar idea of welfarism or secularism that they have. There is nothing secular about it. It is out and out communal. It is also a big disservice to the community, which is treated as guinea pigs every now and at the beck and call of these party leaders who talk about secularism, but actually keep this community at their mercy and in a very bad and a poor condition. Also, this goes on to alienate the community further and create a wider divide between the Hindu brothers and brethren, brothers and sisters. So I think in more ways than one, this is wrong and unfair and completely immoral, especially on the eve of, at the onset of polling when it's happening. And I cannot imagine, and they have not mentioned IT park for minorities. It is IT park for Muslims, and in an area which is, they say, dominated by Muslims. So in that area which is dominated by Muslims, where Muslims are actually in a majority, but will be given this, will be appeased as a minority on the basis of their Muslimness. Therefore, good old, hackneyed, pathetic, sad vote bank politics. Does good for nobody. Not for the country, not for the state, not for the Hindus, not for the Muslims.
It's only for the good for the BJP to divide on the name of the religion. Everyone knows that, who is dividing the people, whether it's Hindus or Muslims. Except the religion, BJP doesn't have any fact debates.
Has the BJP made this announcement, Mr. Bidala?
No,
yes,
that is not true.
Whatever
Because
they
I want to know,
appease,
a small point. 10 seconds, 10
the...
seconds. 10 seconds. I have to dispute that. I have to. Now, this gentleman said something and he feels he can get away with it. I will not allow you to. I will hold you to it. You know why? Because when you look at the central welfare schemes, and if you look at actual beneficiaries, and if you break it down and go one scheme after the other, you will realize that in fact a Muslim brethren, disproportionate to their population, have been bigger beneficiaries than the Hindu counterparts. If you look at the Awas Yojana, you will realize the beneficiaries are 28 to 30% as there are for the gas connections and for toilets. And which goes on to say that the beneficiaries who were at the lowest rung of the ladder got the benefits not because they were Muslims, but because they were most deserving. And that is how the myth.
Get your point, Shazia Ilmi. You're saying that this is about Sabka Saath versus naked appeasement. Let me bring in the others now. Sanjay Jha, I am coming to you. But let me take one response from Atikur Rahman. Atikur Rahman, you look confused. Sir, have you been to a Muslim-only mall? Atikur Rahman sahab.
Thank you for inviting me. Can you hear me, Pranesh?
Loud and clear, sir.
Well, Pranesh, the Muslim community is fed up of this appeasement and a tit for tat amongst the political parties, one pulling them over here, one pulling at the other end, as rightly said by Shazia ji, saying that the community has been reduced to just guinea pigs. If you remember, Shazia ji, the Muslims were the first who opposed Mulayam Singh Yadav ji's proposal to have a holiday on a Friday. So we did not have any appeasement. We don't need it, for God's sake. The primary question, Pranesh, over here is, why is the Home Minister of India misguiding people, saying that 4% reservations are based on religion? Shazia, you should clarify that the 4% reservation are not based on religion, but based on the community's backwardness, economic and social.
I would see.
Furthermore,
you know,
Pranesh,
I cannot say,
liberal Muslims
sir,
of
it is-
India
no,
demand.
Shazia, I'll come back to you. Let him make his point. I'll come to you for a response. Shazia,
I haven't
I'll come to you for a
Shazia.
response. Let him make his point.
No, not that point.
Thank you. Thank you. I would also like to know from Shazia that if Muslim appeasement is not acceptable, how is Hindutva appeasement possible? How can the Rath Yatra from the demolition of the Babri Masjid is not counted as a Hindutva appeasement? How is free train ride for all the Ram bucks on the inauguration
Sir,
of
I think you're very
Ram Mandir
confused.
is not appeasement?
Sir, I think.
And there are several.
No, I cannot. No, you cannot. Pranesh, you cannot make me listen.
No, don't put
to this.
words into
No,
my
let her
mouth.
answer.
Shazia,
Atikur Rahman
you
sir,
need
you're
to
asking direct
explain to
questions.
me
Let
that
Shazia respond to what you've asked.
Appeasement, okay for
She's
you,
answering, sir.
and Muslim appeasement not.
Yeah, I want to answer. Sir, instead of frothing at the mouth and bursting into this diatribe, let me come to you and address it straight away. It was in fact the BJP government which talked about 10% reservation on the basis of economic backwardness. Your claim has been, and for many years, and you should question that as to why Muslims have been at the lowest rung of the socio-economic ladder and where the indices are concerned of socio and economic parameters. And keeping that in mind, this would benefit the Muslims if they are the poorest, as many claim, and as is the matter, as been explained by all the reports, including Ranganathan report and the Sachar committee report. So I don't know why you would not welcome that, and instead of it being about not religion. Secondly, whether when the caste-based reservations were talked about, the reservation. No, let me finish. No. Religion, I'm answering you. Religion was never a factor.
Don't beat around the bush.
The communities, the social communities, the backward communities was made the basis for reservation. And as for Rath Yatra, whether you want to take a tazia during Muharram or somebody wants to take a Rath Yatra, is the right to practice freedom of practice and profess your religion. Why should you have a problem with the Rath Yatra being used? I don't understand. What is the problem with Rath Yatra when Hindus should not have a problem with Jazia?
It's a false equivalence. It's a false equivalence. I don't know. 1 minute. I'll tell you why it's a false equivalence. Okay, Dr. Ranganathan, quick point. Sanjay Jha, I'm coming to you.
Disconnection between communities.
Yes, no, I broadly do agree. Yeah.
Communities when you talk like that.
Yeah, thank you. Just less than a minute, because just to clarify, my dear friend Shazia, it is Ranganath's report, not Ranganathan report. I have not written any report. It was the Judge Ranganath Mishra and his report. No, but I broadly. Thank you. I broadly agree with what I broadly agree with. Thank you. I broadly agree with what Mr. Atikur Rahman has said. Even though some may say he's indulging in whataboutery, he's against all appeasement. He is, which is good and welcome. I welcome that. Except the fact that if you are against all appeasement, then why are you not for government controlling mosques and churches? वहां पे क्या हो जाता है, सांप सूंघ जाता है. So according to me, because the state is leeching billions and billions of not only money but also land and rent from only Hindu temples, the Hindus have a right, legitimate right, to take the money from the state, because Muslims are not handing over their mosques and Christians are not handing over their churches to the state. So please, when you talk about the state helping the Hindus, also say that the state is only helping a fraction of the money it is receiving from Hindus. Tell the whole truth.
Okay, think about it. Atikur Rahman, think about it. I'll come to you for a response. Let me, no, 1 minute, sir, please. I'll have to bring in Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, I want to ask your position on this Muslim-only IT part. Is this in secular spirit?
Pranesh, I have just 2 points to make. I heard Narendra Modi on your program, and the man sounds politically desperate. And I'll tell you the problem that the BJP has, that this is the party that has been inspired by the British through a policy of divide and rule that the people of India have discovered. You see, Narendra Modi is now discovering the hard reality of life. कि ये खेल अब खत्म होने वाला है. ये सांप्रदायिक तापमान बढ़ाओ, लोगों को लड़ाओ, ये नहीं चलेगा. ये हिमाचल gave you an answer, Karnataka gave you an answer. I can tell you on December 3rd, I will be there in Delhi in the Times Now studio. You will see how the BJP is going to be obliterated from Telangana. Now here is the truth. I heard Anand and the BJP spokesperson go on and on. There is only one data, Pranesh. You are a very seasoned news reporter and a TV anchor. One data that your viewers need to see to understand BJP's hypocrisy, the brazen, blatant fraud that this party is on India. Think about it. Today, this is the ruling party in Delhi and in 6 to 7 states along with allied partners. The Muslim population in India is 200 million. There is not a single member of parliament. There's not a single MLA, not a single from 200 million people. The BJP does not have a single elected legislator in the assemblies or the member of parliament, Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha included. It goes to tell you how this party really treats the Muslims in this country as second-class citizens. Now, this is the ruling party of this country whose MPs actually go to town saying we should remove secularism from the constitution. They don't believe in it. They don't believe in a syncretic India. They don't believe in social harmony. They don't believe in religious plurality. They don't believe in
according to winnability.
This party
according to winnability and to ensure that they win elections the way as their political strategy deems fit.
I wish you hadn't interrupted me because I did not interrupt you.
And the fact is, Sanjay,
no,
it doesn't matter if you're a Hindu or a Muslim. There are no, let me tell you, there is no separate electorate working in India.
By the way, I'll just tell you, if you see the number of candidates, Muslim candidates fielded, if it comes to that, now that it has, if you see the number of candidates fielded by the Congress and the BR, the number of Muslim candidates, you'll be surprised. Okay, 5 seconds, Dr. Ranganathan.
Yes. Thank you. Pranesh, you asked a specific question to my good friend Sanjay because he named me. He took my name, which he shouldn't have. It's all right. But you asked him a pointed question about Muslim-only IT park. He went on and about something else. And as for his information, when he quotes the statistics on the Muslim, now please don't interrupt. Please, Sanjay, I didn't interrupt you. When you talk about the fact that BJP,
you're hogging the show.
Pranesh, can I please continue my 10 seconds? Itna dar. इतना मत डरो संजय, इतना मत डरो भाई.
Okay, let him respond. Sanjay Jha, I'll come back to you. Sir, promise.
I don't know. Is there an earthquake in Mumbai? Why is Sanjay quivering in his boots? Sanjay, listen for 10 seconds now. When according Pranesh, please.
Okay. Let him make his point. Sanjay Jha, please. Let's all take it in our strides, please.
He takes my name, then he doesn't want me to rebut. This is unfair. Now, please, Sanjay. Sanjay talked about the fact that BJP is anti-Muslim.
Give me a chance to rebut
because अरे भैया बात तो सुन लो पूरी यार, बीच में इंटरप्ट मत करो.
जल्दी से बोलो यार,
सुन लो. अरे Pranesh, is this going to go on this tomfoolery?
Okay, make your point. Sanjay Jha, please.
Yeah, please fade him out like his career. Now listen. When he says that the BJP is anti,
let's not get personal. Please, gentlemen, please, let's be civil. Please, let's all be responsible in our commentary, please.
I would have finished by now.
Okay, Sanjay Jha, Dr. Ranganathan, please, let's get on with it. Sanjay Jha, please. Dr. Ranganathan, stick to your point, please.
Thank you. I would have finished 10 minutes ago if I had been given uninterrupted 10 seconds. Now, just 10 seconds. According to Sanjay, he says BJP is anti-Muslim because BJP does not have a single Muslim candidate as an MP or MLA. By that logic, Congress is anti-homosexual because there is not a single MP and MLA who is a homosexual. Ab bolo. Does Congress hate homosexuals?
Okay, Pranesh, let me respond.
Logic le aate ho? Kahan se le aate ho?
Pranesh, now let me expose to you the fraud. I never said that is the only example. That is the only example of BJP's anti-Muslim policies. अरे सुनो चुपचाप. अरे सुनो रंगनाथन. एक डॉक्टर साहब थोड़ा स्प्राइट लेके ठंड रखो यार. स्प्राइट लेके ठंड रखो. I will expose you now on Times Now.
Pranesh,
I'm exposing you on Times Now. शांति से सुन. शांति से सुन. स्प्राइट ले ले ठंड रख. ठंड रख, स्प्राइट ले ले.
तमीज से बात करो.
Take a deep breath.
Sanjay Jha, please, let's be civil. Gentlemen, please. Let's not get personal here, please. Let's not cross the line. Dr. Ranganathan, Sanjay Jha, please, we'll having a meaningful conversation.
Pranesh, let me answer him.
But that's the problem.
So, here is my point.
So he reduces
Here is my
to
point.
banality.
But you see, Sanjay Jha.
That is my point.
Sanjay Jha. Dr. Ranganathan, let him answer that question you asked.
Why don't you ask him a question?
Yeah.
You ask
So
him,
Pranesh,
is
let me
Congress
answer
against
you.
homosexuals?
You're not the anchor.
Okay, let him answer that.
Anchor नहीं है, Pranesh anchor है, समझ जा?
Okay,
You're not the anchor.
Sanjay Jha, please. Okay, Dr. Ranganathan, please give him some time to answer, please. Okay, please.
Pranesh, let me answer you. In your home as well.
Pranesh, let me answer you.
In your home.
Firstly, an attempt to mislead the viewers by saying that I gave the example of the representation of Muslim MPs and MLAs as the only point to say that the BJP is anti-Muslim.
But that is no point at all, Sanjay Jha. That's what I was telling you before Dr. Ranganathan came in. That is no measure of how secular someone is. Sanjay Jha.
He's running around now like a headless chicken.
Can we talk about lynching? Can we talk about call for genocide of Muslims?
But we have. But who's shying away from that conversation? But Sanjay Jha, we have on this channel, we have. You've been part of several debates. Now, please, let's not confuse issues. I asked you a direct question of Muslim IT pack. Okay, you went around, you said, look, no, 1 minute. Shazia Ilmi, 1 minute. Sanjay Jha, listen to what I'm saying. I asked you a question, you said what the Prime Minister said, he's frustrated, this, that, the other. Is DK Shiv Kumar from RSS? Is he from the BJP? Do you know what DK Shiv Kumar has said about this Muslim-only IT part?
Go ahead, quote it.
He said this is bizarre. How can this be possible? What is your opinion about this Muslim-only IT part?
Let me tell you, the Congress party has already said what it has said. The larger point that I'm making
no, but
is
what is your
the
take
most
on this?
communal
Sanjay
party.
Jha, please, I want to know what you think about it.
Narendra Modi act like a secular man. He is the most. By the way, I believe Narendra Modi is the most polarizing prime minister in India's political history.
But voters are listening to what you are saying, Mr. Sanjay Jha. Let them decide. Let them decide. I'm asking you about the Muslim-only IT part. What do you think about that?
Well, I can tell you that it is wrong to designate institutions for a religion. But Narendra Modi and the BJP are the most communal party in this country. Who can contradict that? Who can challenge it? Tell me. Dharam Sansad's calling for genocide. Ranganathan, do you have any comment to make on it?
Why don't you answer? Why are you anti-gay?
Don't try
Why is Congress anti-gay?
Don't try and ridicule a serious debate.
But you know, this is a false equivalence, Sanjay Jha, at the cost of repeating. No, I'm telling you, this number of people fielded is no measure. Do you know how many people the Congress has fielded, sir? I think it is 3, if I'm not wrong.
Is genocide a measure? Is lynching a measure?
It is a measure. We've discussed it. We've discussed it. We've discussed about lynching. That no, across states. Sanjay Jha, across states. Now let me bring in. No, 1 minute. Sanjay Jha, I think okay. 1 minute, Mr. Angara, I'll come to you. But Sanjay Jha, you tell me when Manmohan Singh, as Prime Minister, said that Muslims have the first right on resources. I think you're stretching it too far. Equitable distribution of resources is the hallmark of welfare state, but not this exclusive rights on resources and the first right. They can be the first among equals.
You are misquoting Dr.
I am not, sir. I have the quote.
Spin. This is
a
BJP spin.
I can play out what the Prime Minister said. And this is not a deep fake video. Sanjay Jha, I can play out what Dr. Manmohan Singh. Okay, let's play out,
that
sir.
That is a BJP spin. Don't fall for it.
Don't believe me. We have it ready. We have it ready. I can play it out, sir.
It's a BJP fake news. Don't fall for it, Pranesh. I'm telling you publicly.
Let me read
it's
it.
Fake news of the BJP.
It is not.
They actually cherry picked it, Pranesh. You know that. You should
Sir, Mr. Jha, I beg your indulgence. Allow me to read this, sir, in entirety. Here it is, sir. Here it is. And I quote, I believe our collective priorities are clear: agriculture, irrigation, water resources, health, education, critical investment in rural infrastructure, and the essential public investment needs of general infrastructure, along with programs for the upliftment of SC, STs, other backward classes, minorities, women and children. Wait, 1 minute. Not done. Not done. Sanjay Jha, not done. Abhi to baki hai, sir. Picture abhi baki hai, abhi suniye. The component plans for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes will need to be revitalized. We will have to devise innovative plans to ensure that minorities particularly the Muslim minority, are empowered to share equitably in the fruits of development. They must
my
have.
point.
Are sunni rahe
You
aap?
have just exposed the BJP. That's exactly what I tell you.
Sanjay Jha,
It is
listen,
about
I'm
SC,
quoting him,
ST,
sir.
Dalit. Look at the fraud. Look at Anand Ranganathan. He's such a fraud. He's acting on.
Why are we getting personal here, Mr. Jha? This is not Dr. Ranganathan speaking.
Fraud which is spread by
I'm
the
telling
right
you, sir. Please listen to this.
My point.
Mr. Jha, you're not.
Just prove
Listen,
my point.
either you know you
It is a
misfired,
BJP
which is
false
why you're
propaganda.
deliberately interrupting me. Listen to what Manmohan Singh had said. We'll play out the soundbite also after this.
Play.
He-
Read out.
They must.
Everybody heard what he said.
Sir, bolne dijiye. Sanjay Jha, please.
I have just exposed the
Ja-
BJP lie on the Times Now to all the viewers.
You expose the BJP, sir, but please allow the anchor to make the point.
Okay, boliye. Repeat it again.
Yeah, we will have to devise innovative plans to ensure that minorities, particularly the Muslim minority, are empowered to share equitably in the fruits of development. They must have the first claim on resources.
They does not mean only the
में आ गई
Muslims.
बात?
They mean everything. Dalits,
Oh.
women, children, SC, ST,
No.
and the minorities. This is the lie that the BJP has spread, Pranesh. And I want to
This is
thank you
just
for exposing the
unbelievable.
BJP.
I mean,
on your
Pranesh,
program.
there has to be.
Thank
If,
you.
if
Thank you,
there was
Pranesh.
1 rupee
I
given to
really
you,
appreciate this.
every
The
time
BJP
this guy lied, you would be a
stands on
billionaire
Times
by
Now.
now. Honestly.
Shazia Ilmi, you have nowhere
The
to
face
hide.
with which,
And Anand Ranganathan,
the
you are the
face
fraud
with
of the
which
bunch.
he lies is
You are
next
the
only to
fraud
Rahul
of the
Gandhi.
Mr.
Honestly,
Sanjay Jha, no, Mr. Sanjay Jha, now even after the quote,
You know, you are.
if you are in doubt, then I don't know
it's
what
very
to say.
embarrassing. And I can imagine how
I
uncomfortable
tell
you
you
are.
what,
So you.
You have just today you have
Why is he
exploded
still
the
How
suspended?
uncomfortable.
He's
I'm
the
sure you're
intellectual
squirming.
force
I'm
of
sure you're
Congress.
squirming.
Now-
So the best thing you can do is attack
Sachai-
others and call
What-
others
No, no,
liars.
I'll tell you what the thing is,
so
what Sanjay Jha is
brazenly,
saying
openly
was
and blatantly.
actually what was said by the Prime Minister's office then, but that was only a face-saving exercise. You're falling for that, Mr. Jha.
Oh.
Now,
This is the
one
BJP
person who's
false
not
propaganda
spoken,
which stands
Sai
exposed
Shekhar
today
Angara,
on Times
Mr.
Now.
Angara.
Thank you, Pranesh.
Mr. Angara, should there be a Muslim-only IT park in Telangana and a Hindu-only university or a Hindu-only mall in Assam, Uttar Pradesh by Himanta and Yogi, sir?
I have 2-3 points to make here. Very good evening to all the co-panelists, and let me complete my viewpoint, and then others can counter that or agree with me. Either way, it's okay with me. The Muslim-only IT park has come from the Muslim the reservations given to minorities basis the socio-economic survey that was conducted, and the Telangana government has proposed a reservation of 12% for the Muslim minorities and enacted a resolution or law, maybe. It can't be called law unless it is the presidential assent comes, and that is there lying with the President of India. This is one. For that reason, the Telangana government has envisaged a Muslim-only IT park. It is not to discriminate against any community. And for example, you take in Mulugu, Sammakka Sarka Tribal University was announced by the Honorable Prime Minister recently. And this has been a demand from the Telangana government side that was conceded very recently, that university is meant exclusively for tribals. Similarly, all sections of the downtrodden sections of the society need to be encouraged. For that reason, the Telangana Chief Minister Chandrasekhar Rao has proposed a Muslim-only IT park. It is not definitely intended at causing a rift between Hindus or Muslims or anything.
This will promote
quite
social
a few
harmony.
number of Muslims are working in the IT parks in Hyderabad. Let me complete. Kindly allow me to complete. And you know, there's a sizable number of Muslim population going from old city to high-tech city area and working there, and they have sufficient representation. But at the same time, it is exclusively meant for the downtrodden sections that have not been able to derive the fruits of this benefit. In fact, IT parks have been extended to tier 2 cities across the
Mr.
state
Angara,
also.
I'm sorry, I'm interjecting.
So
Mr. Angara, I apologize. Mr. Angara, 1 minute. You're talking about fruits, sir. You can give, a larger share of the fruits. Why give the whole tree to one community, sir? fruits de dijiye.
And can I add something to that? Factually correct him.
Yeah, so
Yeah, Dr. Ranganathan, quickly.
Yeah,
you are allowed to please
for
correct me factually. I have no problem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Very politely, I would like to say that while a Muslim-only IT park is discriminatory, a tribal university is not, because there are Muslim tribals as well. I can give you, there are hundreds of Muslim tribe community from all religious communities. So having a tribal university is a false equivalence to having a Muslim-only IT park. Please understand this. Aligarh Muslim University does not mean that only Muslims can be admitted there. Banaras Hindu University does not mean only Hindus can be admitted there. Tribal University does not mean that only tribals of a certain community or tribes will be admitted there. Belonging to all religion will be admitted. But Muslim only IT park, you are drawing a false equivalent. I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Mr. Angara, you have the last word on the show. 30 seconds, sir.
I would like to say I would like to say something on this. The modalities of the Muslim-only IT park have also not been defined as yet, and once they are defined, if they are not inclusive in the sense that on a par with BHU or Aligarh Muslim University or anything like that, then this can be questioned.
This could well be a eureka moment for those who said that, let's call it the Muslim-only IT park. Dr. Ranganathan has just given you a face saver. But whether or not it is defined, secularism or pseudo-secularism has been redefined time and again in the last 2 weeks, several times in Telangana. Let's leave it at that. Thank you for joining us on debate number 1. Now, the other